Have you ever felt like everything is the same? Like every day is a copy of the last? Like your life is stuck in a loop? No matter how hard you try, it feels like you can't get anywhere. Annoying, isn't it? But consider this. What if the key to achieving those dreams, goals, and the life you desire isn't working harder, striving more, or drowning in chaos? What if the real key has been in your mind all along, waiting quietly for you to remember it? You're not lazy. You're just disconnected from a power that most people don't even realize they have. The power of visualization. As the wise Buddha once said, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. This is not just a poetic idea, but a plan. It is so ancient, yet so relevant today, that when properly understood and applied, it has the potential to reshape your entire reality. Visualization is not daydreaming. It is not fantasizing. It is the conscious alignment of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the life you wish to create. It is the internal change that drives external breakthroughs. William James once said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their mental attitudes." And today, neuroscience supports this. Your brain does not merely react to what you see. It reacts to what you believe, feel, and consistently visualize. Think of your mind as a garden. Your thoughts are seeds. Every image, word, or emotion you allow to repeat becomes the blueprint for what will grow. And here's the most important part. You are the gardener. You choose what to plant. You decide what to nurture. So what thoughts are you feeding your mind with throughout the day? The answer to this question may be creating your current reality. If your current reality feels limited, uninspired, or out of sync, perhaps you are feeding your mind with the wrong seeds, limiting beliefs and fears. At this very point, becoming aware of what you are planting in your mind and transforming it with a new vision begins to change your life. Because when you learn to visualize with clarity, energy, and belief, reality changes, sometimes subtly, sometimes instantly, but always undeniably. So how do you change the course of your life? This video is all about that. Keep watching until the end, because we'll discover how to use the power of visualization as a practical, spiritual, and transformative tool. Before we go into this, I want you to do 3 things. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave the number 777 in the comments. You can also share it with someone you want to benefit from this video and support their spiritual awakening. Now let's go deeper. First, you need to understand what visualization is, because this concept is not a superficial daydreaming state. It is a mental power, a spiritual tool, and actually the secret architect of your life. You can think of visualization as a superpower that we all have, but most of us have forgotten how to use. When you daydream during the day, for example, when you imagine yourself lying on a sunny beach or making a great impression at an exciting job interview, you are actually visualizing. But the secret is this. Visualization is not just daydreaming, it is consciously creating a movie in your mind. And you are both the director, the screenwriter, and the lead actor of this movie. This is about visualizing the life you dream of in your mind down to the smallest detail. Imagine yourself receiving your diploma. Feel the joy of that moment. See the proud expressions on your family's faces. Or think about the moment you finish a marathon. Feel your heart racing, the applause, the sweat on your face. Feel not just the image, but the emotion as well. Because what is real to your brain is not what you see, but what you feel. The more senses you engage during visualization, the more real your mind perceives the experience. Think about the texture of the sand between your toes, the applause of the crowd, the smell of fresh paint in your new home. All these senses enhance the mental scene, and that's where the magic begins. Why is this so important? Because there is a strong connection between the mind and the body. Scientific research shows that when people visualize themselves as healthy and strong, the body responds to that belief. Your mind is the most powerful ally in healing and maintaining balance. Do you dream of financial freedom? Visualize yourself as someone who is mindful, secure, and prosperous in terms of money. It's like entering a goal into your brain, creating an internal GPS. Do you want more love and commitment in your relationships? Visualize loving, fulfilling relationships. If you want to write a book, start a business, or learn a new skill, Imagine yourself doing it successfully. Because visualization can be effective in all these areas. The first step in visualization is to clarify exactly what you want. This is the foundation of mental creation. The clearer you are, the more focused your energy becomes, and thus your reality begins to take shape. So how do you do this? The first step, idealization. This is like creating a mental blueprint of the life you envision, just as an architect creates a detailed drawing before starting construction. Idealization is much more than just saying, "I want to be happy." What brings you happiness? A meaningful career, a loving family, traveling the world. You tell your mind, "This is exactly where I want to go." This is about setting your internal compass. Next come two magic words, clarity and consistency. Clarity means visualizing exactly what you want in your mind, down to the finest details. All the colors, sounds and emotions should be there. The clearer it is, the more real your mind perceives it to be. Consistency is revisiting that image repeatedly. Think of it like watering a seed. Each repetition strengthens that image in your mind. That's why visualization should become a daily habit. Daily visualization is like exercising a mental muscle. Just as going to the gym once won't get you in shape, visualizing once won't change your life from top to bottom. But consistency strengthens those mental muscles. Are you ready? Let's do a little exercise. Close your eyes and imagine yourself on the slope of a snow-covered mountain. Endless whiteness all around you. Feel the slight chill of the cold air on your skin, the crunch of snow under your feet, the scent of pine in the air. Feel as though you are truly there, immersed in all these sensations. This is not just a mental escape, it is an exercise. You are teaching your brain to create a new reality. The more vividly you imagine it, the greater the effect. Over time, these practices will rewire your subconscious and transform your energy. Remember, visualization is a skill. It's like learning a new language. At first it feels strange, then it slowly becomes internalized, and one day, you realize you're speaking a whole new language with yourself. And when that day comes, you begin to live the life you created in your imagination. So what happens next? How can visualization truly change your life? James Allen has a profound saying, "Today you are where your thoughts have brought you. Tomorrow, you will be where your thoughts take you." This quote perfectly summarizes how visualization affects your inner world, because at its core, this process is about transforming your thoughts. Every time you visualize, you're not just watching a scene unfold, you're actively shaping your own future. When you repeatedly bring to mind a life filled with success, happiness, health and love, your mind begins to move in that direction. Your perspective shifts, your perspective and awareness transform. Just as when you plant seeds in a garden and nurture them with patience and love, they eventually bloom into flowers. The thoughts you plant in your mind grow as they are nourished and eventually become part of your reality. Of course, this doesn't happen overnight, but this process creates a fundamental change. Things you once saw as obstacles now begin to look like opportunities. Challenges, rather than stopping you, become stepping stones that help you grow. It's as if you've put on a brand new pair of glasses. Life now becomes clearer, more meaningful, and more possible. And here's where the real power behind all this transformation comes into play: your subconscious mind. You can think of your subconscious mind as the engine room of a ship. It works, guides, and keeps things running without you even realizing it. And this system is far more powerful than you might think, because your subconscious mind perceives every command you give it, whether positive or negative, as reality. It's like a servant. Whatever you give it, it takes and acts on it to turn it into reality. When you visualize, you're actually sending a clear and powerful message to the control center of this system. I want this. I want to go in this direction. And the best part is, your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. When you imagine a situation vividly enough, your subconscious mind begins to accept it as if it were already real. From this point on, all your internal mechanisms, your habits, decisions and feelings align to support that vision. This is when the real transformation begins. As you continue to visualize, your subconscious mind begins to recognize and attract opportunities in the external world that align with that vision. This might be meeting someone, finding a book that interests you, or experiencing a small moment of inspiration. But take note, none of these are coincidences. They are the small building blocks of the new world your subconscious mind is beginning to construct for you. So the more clarity, emotion, and repetition you bring to your visualization, the more powerfully your subconscious mind will work to bring you closer to your goal. Your subconscious mind does not sabotage you, it carries you forward. All you need to do is start giving it what you want in the right direction. Understanding this is like regaining control over your life, because you begin to consciously choose what you think, what you feel, and what you repeat in your mind. For example, if you constantly say things like, "I can't do it," or "I have no luck," your subconscious mind will feed that belief and shape your reality accordingly. But if you dedicate a few minutes each day to vividly imagining thoughts like, "I can do it," "I've already succeeded," then a new cycle begins, and this cycle frees you from old limiting patterns and carries you into a whole new realm of life. You begin to trust yourself. Without even realizing it, your decisions change, your courage grows. You no longer just dream, you now build a future for yourself. All this may sound a bit magical, but it is a very real power of your mind, and what has changed the lives of thousands of people is that they have learned to use this power correctly. At this point, the question you need to ask yourself is, what am I planting in my mind today? What thoughts am I feeding my future with? And from this moment on, what story do I want to tell my subconscious? Every thought you plant in your mind today forms the foundation for the emotions, decisions, and experiences you will have tomorrow. If your mind is soil, your beliefs are its moisture, and your dreams are the seeds that fall onto the soil. The more consciously you plant, the more powerfully you will harvest. Therefore, instead of allowing fears, limitations, and outdated scenarios to flow unconsciously into your mind, you should feed it with thoughts that serve your future, elevate you, and remind you of your potential. Because your subconscious mind accepts whatever you give it and takes action to turn it into reality in your life. Every day, when you tell your mind a new story, your subconscious mind begins to act it out. Success, health, abundance, love, confidence, all of these begin with a thought. So what kind of story are you telling yourself? Who are you in this story? Are you the main character or a supporting actor? The moment you realize that everything is in your hands, the course of the story begins to change. The mind rewrites the story, and you realize that life is following that new script. This is where the magic of visualization lies. When you create the scene, the characters, and the atmosphere, the universe opens the curtain and helps that scene become reality. Every morning when you wake up, spend a few minutes visualizing how you want to live that day. Who will you be with? How will you feel? What will you achieve? See yourself in that flow. This conscious repetition not only changes the direction of your day, but also allows you to take control of your destiny in the long run. When you reprogram your thoughts, your emotions change too. Hope replaces negativity, and confidence replaces anxiety. And this new inner state begins to create changes in your outer world. Maybe you get a phone call, maybe an opportunity comes your way, maybe you cross paths with that person you've been waiting for years. All of this may seem like coincidence to you, but in reality, they are signs that the seeds you have planted mentally are beginning to sprout. Visualization is not just an internal exercise, it is also a preview of reality. The more you rehearse in your mind, the more confidently you will perform on the stage of life. You can start with a few minutes of practice each day. Sit in a quiet environment, close your eyes, and see yourself as someone who has achieved their goals. How do you feel? How do you look? How do people treat you? What environment are you in? Imagine these things as clearly and vividly as possible. Don't just think about the word success. Feel the scent, sound, and texture of success. Internalize that reality. Because the more senses your mind experiences, the more real it feels. And your body, your choices, and your energy will begin to change accordingly. Over time, you will notice that you believe in yourself more. Situations that used to challenge you no longer scare you. Life will continue to test you, but your response will have changed. You now have a mind that manages, not one that struggles. You no longer carry a mind that repeats the story of the past, but one that writes the script for the future. And this awareness will trigger a chain reaction of transformations in your life. That is why visualization is not just a technique, but a state of awareness. It is the result of your relationship with yourself, your connection to your potential, and the energetic harmony you have established with life. To make this process even more effective, you can keep a journal. Write down what you visualize each day, how you feel, and what details you clarify. This allows you to track your mental processes, see where you are strong, and where you need to focus. At the same time, this writing process helps you build stronger bridges in your mind. Words give shape to your thoughts and bring them one step closer to the material world. When visualization and writing work together, your inner system becomes much stronger. This accelerates the transformation process. Remember, as you repeat your dreams in your mind, life begins to take them seriously. Because life takes shape according to your energy, the more clearly, emotionally, and consistently you keep something alive in your mind, the easier it becomes for that thing to find its place in the physical world. That's why visualization is not a luxury, but a necessity. It is a mental bridge, an emotional lever, and a spiritual compass on the path to your goals. Strengthen this bridge a little more each day. Calibrate this compass a little more each day, and use this lever to lift yourself up a step higher each day. As you repeatedly visualize the same image, the same goal, your mind begins to respond to it as if it were reality. This not only motivates you but also shapes your behaviors, choices, and reactions according to this new scenario. Your mind no longer focuses on what has not happened, but on what is happening. After a while, the life you envisioned becomes not a possibility, but a path. This transforms you from a passive observer into an active creator. Because the mind follows what it focuses on, when you direct your thoughts, you are actually directing your energy. And energy is the first step before it transforms into matter. As your energy field becomes clearer, the corresponding elements in the universe begin to manifest rapidly. It's like tuning into a radio frequency. Whatever frequency you're on, you start receiving that frequency's broadcast. If you constantly hold abundance, love, success, and peace in your mind, events, people, and coincidences aligned with these values begin to flow into your life. At this point, the word coincidence loses its meaning, because you now know that this is nothing more than the external reflection of your inner work. Visualization is therefore not just a mental game, but a form of communication you establish with the universe. As you envision your dream, the universe begins to show you the paths that will lead you to that dream. However, the most overlooked part of this process is the emotional dimension. Visualization is not just a mental image. Everything you feel within that image multiplies the effect of the process. It is not enough to just see something. You must feel it in your heart. For example, when imagining a healthy body, you should not only see yourself as fit, but also experience the energy, lightness, and vitality you feel within that body. Or when imagining financial freedom, you should also feel the confidence, peace, and relaxation that freedom brings. Because the mind stores images reinforced by emotion more deeply, and the subconscious mind begins to create new programs that motivate you with these emotional recordings. Therefore, remind yourself during every visualization session, it's not enough to just see it. I must feel it. The scenes you create in your mind should be vivid, colorful, and detailed. But the real power lies in the emotions you attach to those scenes. You can ask yourself these questions. How will I feel when this dream comes true? What will have changed in my life? What emotions will I wake up with? Who will I be with? Call up those emotions now, in this moment. Because these emotions change not only the energy of the future, but also the energy of the present. Visualization also works with resistance. As your mind focuses on a goal, old beliefs that hinder you from reaching that goal begin to surface. Internal voices like, I don't deserve this, this is too much for me, or I can't do this, are expressions of patterns that have been accumulating in your subconscious for years. Instead of suppressing these voices, you need to recognize and transform them, because those resistances are actually signs of transformation. When you see them, and replace them with a new thought, by saying, I no longer choose this thought, you not only rewire your mind but also your energy field. That's why visualization is also a healing tool. It transforms not only the future, but also the chains that bind you to the past. You can reinterpret past failures and view limiting experiences with a fresh perspective. Since the mind can perceive the past, present, and future simultaneously, when you heal a scene from the past, your current behavior also changes. And this transformation carries you to a more free and powerful self. At this point, it is important that visualization becomes a ritual. It should be done consciously, not randomly. You can set aside a few minutes before waking up in the morning or just before going to sleep at night. These are the moments when your mind is most open to your subconscious. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and start creating the life you want in your mind. Sounds, smells, colors, textures, detail them all. See yourself in that scene. You are there, you are living it, you are feeling it. And that life is now yours. If you wish, you can take this process a step further and support your visualization with affirmations. When you combine phrases such as "I am free," "My life is full of abundance," and "I trust myself completely" with the images you visualize in your mind, these words are recorded more powerfully in your subconscious. This is because when the mind perceives visual and verbal harmony together, the message becomes more lasting. And remember, every new day is an opportunity to add a new scene to your mind. Visualization can be used not only for your ultimate goal but also for the small moments of daily life. How do you want your day to go? What emotion do you want to dominate? What kind of interaction do you want to have with whom? By mentally experiencing these moments in advance, you can invite them into your life. Because the mind makes every experience that has been rehearsed in advance easier and more fluid in real life. Remember, visualization sets the stage, but what comes to life on that stage is your actions. This process is not just about imagining, it is the union of your inner vision with your outer effort. Every image you clarify internally shapes a step you will take externally. Visualization shows you the direction, but you walk the path. When these two forces, internal vision and external action, merge, they can carry you not only to the future you imagined but often to heights you couldn't even imagine. When you build a clear future in your mind and nourish it with emotions and support it with determination, that future is no longer a possibility but a process. Every decision, every step, every encounter becomes part of that goal. That's why visualization is not just an internal ritual but also a compass that drives you into action. It reminds you which direction to go, realigns you, and most importantly, it becomes a light for you when you lose your way. Finally, let us complete this journey by remembering this. Norman Vincent Peale says, "Change your thoughts, change your world." This sentence perfectly reflects the essence of visualization. The power of your thoughts can make the invisible visible. The things you envision can gradually manifest in your life. Life is a mirror. Whatever you reflect, it will show you. Therefore, be mindful of what you fill your mind with, because everything that takes shape in your mind today will find its place in your reality tomorrow. Now you know your mind is a canvas, and you are an artist. What you draw today, you will experience tomorrow. So draw boldly. Use colors without fear. Don't be ashamed of your dreams. Believe in yourself. And every day use this powerful tool, visualization, consciously to become the architect of your life. Because you already possess this power. Now you've remembered it. If this video has inspired you, helped you rediscover the power of your mind, or sparked a desire to make changes in your life, share it with others now. Don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and write "I'm ready" in the comments to show that you've truly taken the first step on this journey. Remember, this is not just a video, it could be the key to a new reality. See you in the next timeline.